Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of the Immergence Show. Today, we're diving into a topic that's transforming how we connect through music and technology. Imagine an experience that goes beyond just listening to music. It's about truly feeling the energy, engaging with others, and being part of a community, all from wherever you are in the world. That's the magic of immersive music experiences, and our guest today is a pioneer in this space. I'm thrilled to introduce the founder of Stilo Web3, a visionary who's been redefining the boundaries of digital entertainment with focus on making immersive experiences accessible and inclusive. They have built vibrant communities through platforms like Spatial, allowing audiences to connect in ways that are more interactive and engaging than ever before. Let's dive into how immersive music is reshaping community and audience engagement. Thank you, Stella, for being here. How are you doing today?
Hey Nico, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. It's great to see some friends in the chat already. Super awesome to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you to our amazing community, Gabriel, Ian, and everyone else who's tuning in. We're going to have a really fun conversation. So bring in your questions and we're going to get to them as well. So, Stila, tell us more about your background. I know you have been in the music industry and even fashion before this Web3 movement. So, tell us more about your story and how you got here.
Yeah, well, I was born in Venezuela. My mother took me out to Los Angeles when I was about 5 years old. We went to Canada actually, and I lived there until I was 9, and then we moved out to LA, and been in LA ever since. Grew up, went to high school here, loved it, and I found music. After that, I moved up to LA, Hollywood, and then downtown, and won an award from Billboard on how to write a hit song. And started throwing like these really dope concerts. A lot of people were coming, and it's been a blast. Loving where I am and where things are going now. Web3's definitely been amazing, and just recently, a couple years now, been into it. But yeah, before that, we were doing samples, a lot of different things like T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and being in LA, like you always meet celebrities, like they're everywhere. So I'd ran into like Lance Stevenson, a basketball player, Jerome Jordan, a basketball player for the Knicks. Um, Kevin Durant, Will I Am, Des Bryant, Molly Mall. Uh, Ran into a lot of people and gave a lot of demos out, and it's been a blast. LA is a blast, but here we are. It's 2024, and things are a lot more worldwide now. So I'm focused on that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, being in LA definitely gives you a lot of exposure and nice weather. I know you surf and you live stream from your surfing, and you do really cool stuff. So thank you for sharing that and beautiful story. Being an immigrant and rediscovering a whole new world here. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. So tell us more about how you discovered these immersive experiences and also Web3, and kind of like, when was that aha moment that instead of doing the physical or like in parallel to doing the physical type of engagement with your fans and audience, you should tap into these new platforms?
Yeah. Yeah, so we were doing a bunch of concerts. We were having a blast with the concerts. We'd have really dope after parties. I was living with a bunch of friends that were in LA, coming here on like contracts for modeling or acting, and we decided to get together, throw parties, and throw events, and we had some amazing, amazing times. We were in downtown LA and really, really lighting it up, creating a buzz.
Amazing.
Um, so after that, I kind of was, I was just creating and not doing as many shows, but more focused on the music. And during this whole thing, like I realized, I'm like, man, like I feel like there is no audience online. Like, where is everyone? And I
Mm,
realized that there was like silos and algorithms, and I had no idea. I was just a musician doing music and doing fashion and growing a brand, getting it out there physically. Digitally, I could not connect. I could not understand it. Um, and my friend was like, you know what, man, like just get off Instagram, like go to other platforms. And I didn't even really think of that. So I found X and Twitter, LinkedIn, and I started focusing my attention on like the people there and the algorithm there. And it was so much more connective, and it was like a two-dimensional immersive experience because Twitter spaces, these audio spaces, are a great way to like share real-time information, and connect with people and grow a community and be part of a community, be part of something. So just dove in, and as soon as I realized the power of these two-dimensional audio spaces, I started creating music, like more music, fresh music with this new energy, and I started performing it. And as soon as I started performing it, I was like, "Whoa! I can, perform my song with a Bluetooth speaker and sing over it into my phone and be with 50 people in the room, or hundreds." So I started doing that, and that was the aha moment. It was a huge, huge shift for me, and learned about NFTs and Web3 and the blockchain and what it can do for independent musicians. And then through that is when I learned about the three-dimensional internet and how that is the next step to me.
Wow, interesting. So you started on Twitter, and then those Twitter Spaces, and a lot happened with the crypto Twitter, and came to this world. Beautiful. And then you discovered Spatial, which then you became like a prominent artist. I know they have been highlighting you. I have seen so much of your presentations, and I actually want to quickly show one of your live physical kind of concerts that you did. It was during NFT NYC, I would say like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was really cool. So I'm going to play it briefly. This was done in a Samsung kind of office space in New York City.
Yeah, this was an incredible event. Shout out to Spatial. This was at the Samsung store in
Yes,
Soho. They had
yes.
a huge 35-foot screen, and in the background, if you could see, we had the Spatial connected to the in real life event. So everyone was watching the Spatial 3D virtual realm. There's Jacob, uh, and so everyone's watching the screen and myself performing the music, and everyone in the screen there, that gamified spatial platform, they were streaming this concert, so everyone could see each other. And it was such a trip because a lot of people would see this clip and were like, hey, that's my avatar on the screen. They couldn't make it to New York, but they made it virtually, and they felt like they were really there. So
Yeah.
shout out to Spatial for giving me that opportunity.
Amazing. And it was a true hybrid because we had both physical and virtual, and people from all over the world. So beautifully done. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, unfortunately, I missed it. I was at the previous session, and then I jumped to go to another event, and I missed this, and I'm so sad. But thank you for bringing that back, that memory. And I want to take a moment and thank our amazing community for being here and engaging. Chris, Ian, Gabriel, Natalia, Fatima, and Jean, everyone, and everyone else that I don't see in the comment section, but I know you're there. You're so amazing to be here. And we're going to make it really fun and exciting talking about all things music and technology. All right, cool. So now that we saw your kind of your live performance, let's take a look at some of these virtual performances to set the stage before we talk more about what's the secret and all of that. So I'm going to share my screen. I know you have been doing really cool stuff every Wednesday and even maybe beyond that. So Tell us more about what's happening.
Yeah. So this is some AI music that I created,
Digital hearts in
and these are
neon
the events we
skies.
do, and we explore
Eyes
the metaverse.
connect
So
across
many
the
amazing
lines.
people. Shout out to
Where
Choice,
every touch
Alexander,
but
hello,
souls
Gabrielle,
align.
Ian. They've all been to the event, and it's just been a great time.
You
You
and
can see the
me
chats
in the
popping.
tech
The graphics
world.
are great. I'm DJing up
Virtual
there live in the
love like
background.
flags unfurled. Here we stand, our prides unfurled. We glow, we shine in this metaverse time. We build, we rise, love in our digital skies.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. We all love it and we want to watch it the whole time. But I want to get into a little bit of more behind the scenes stuff. So, Spatial has really improved. Honestly, it used to be just like, a small space. But now, as we saw, you can really create a whole environment and do amazing work. So, tell us about kind of like your process. Do you create these spaces yourself? Do you have a team that you work with? Do you work with your audience or fans? How does it work? How does it all come together?
Yeah, so we have these concerts every Wednesday. It's been 150 weeks plus in a row. In the beginning, Spatial had a lot of really cool templates, and I was working with Meta Mike. He was creating like these spaces for me with like using Sketchfab and 3D models, and then I
Yeah,
would go in and decorate it, put my posters everywhere, my flyers, my photos,
nice.
and we had some really cool stuff in a warehouse in the beginning. And that led to just like more momentum and more spaces, islands, and things like that. Then I just kept like, so many amazing creators in Spatial, like Schmers, Josh Garrett, Cyber Nerd Baby, and many more. So many more. And I basically would meet people and talk and collab, and people, they would want to work together and collaborate. So we collaborated on some 3D spaces, kind of gave my expertise like on how I feel like the vibe should be, where like the DJ booth should be, and etc. So with that whole stuff, like I collaborated with a couple different artists like Cyber Nerd Baby or Ludi. Um, Lisbeth, Ida, and we just created or hosted events in their spaces. I
Nice.
like to also like move the party around and not just make it mine, but highlight other people who created really dope spaces as well. So we did some events at Hype Three Way. We did events at One Woman's Gallery. We have done events in so many different places, and now I'm learning Unity myself. So I'm creating I've already created a world called Glacier, and it has like a floating racetrack, beautiful lighting, icy mountains, and it's a work in progress. But the whole goal is to really just dip my toes in, and figure out what's going on with Unity. But I love it. I'm hooked. So when I wake up, I'm like, what do I do? Music? Do I do 3D stuff? But I created a really cool schedule, like Monday through Friday. So like Mondays, I'll do like a podcast or an interview. Then on Tuesdays, I will. On Tuesdays, what do I do on
You
Tuesdays?
watch our show.
Yeah, I forget what I do on Tuesdays, but Wednesdays we do the concert. Thursday I'll live stream surfing. Friday I'll live stream music, and I haven't fully integrated it yet. But I'm about to really do that every day. Where Tuesday is tech day. So that's how I like differentiate. What do I do? So I know Monday is I'm going to be interviewing. I'm going to be in spaces. I know Tuesday I'm going to be waking up working on 3D stuff. Wednesday I know that I'm going to be doing the party. Thursday, I know that I'm going to go surf. And Friday, I know that I'm going to do music. So that just makes it a lot easier for me and systematic. Um, yeah, so that's what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, having the discipline is so important. Having prioritization and everything, especially in this, overly saturated world that we're in, and there's so much that requires our attention. So it's amazing that you have come up with a good plan for yourself. Beautiful. Before we get into more specifics of doing immersive concerts virtually, I want to hear from you kind of like, how do you compare it to the physical world? Because you've been doing that before and even now physically as well. What are the pros and cons of musicians going virtual?
So, the music industry is very competitive. And if you're trying to get out there and you're trying to do a show on Sunset, it's usually like pay to play. A lot of people have to, maybe buy 20 tickets for $100 or $200. And then you are responsible for selling those tickets, or you just eat it and give them away. Um, that's one thing. That's a barrier. Second barrier would be people. It costs gas, it costs time. It's tough. It's not as easy. Virtually, it's free. It's weekly, and that way, like, I really get to learn a lot about myself. Every time I throw a show in the virtual space, I learn about the music, I learn about the feedback. You feel it, what people are digging in the virtual realm, this in the 3D worlds. So gamifying these concerts is a priority to me because I see the future heading this way. I see dollars moving digital and maybe less physical. So, um, just how easy it is, how consistent it is, how much you can learn from doing it consistently. Like I did 150 shows in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So I learn a lot. I get to go, okay, that song, we're gonna throw this song out, we're gonna put this song instead in and create the perfect set. And then I have like so much music in the catalog. Since doing the music, I went hard every day. I'd wake up, do it, sleep, eat, work, go back to music, sleep, eat, work, music. So I have so much music, and that led to a lot of really cool stuff happening. Me playing the music and going, you know what, let me dig into my vault. Like, I have so much music people haven't heard. So it's
Yeah.
really cool. Even to this day, people are like, man, I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one.
Mhm.
And I'll still surprise you. So,
Amazing. So it,
yeah.
it kind of gives you the opportunity to focus on your craft and build up this consistent schedule and consistent community engagement that then, it's really hard to replicate in the physical world, or it will cost a lot. And in the physical, there are more things that can go wrong. So that is really cool. And then from the kind of fan or audience perspective, what have you heard they're saying in terms of like how this is different for them? Because obviously there's some limitations with it. When you're on your computer, moving your avatar, you may not be moving your body. It's gonna be like challenging, or other things. It's not exactly the way we're used to going to concerts. So what have you heard from your community?
Well, what I heard is basically like it is so awesome, that you could be at home in Michigan
Yeah.
and you can turn on your computer and attend an event, a virtual event, and it feels like you're really there. There's people that you meet up with, you see them. There's a huge chat, and it's a really dope like community of people that are like creating. And like some people, they can't dance in real life, and so this is a beautiful thing. Like, they feel like they can really do it, and their avatar is an extension of themselves, and there's been a lot of really dope feedback. The energy that we bring every Wednesday is so positive and empowering, and my music is positive and empowering.
Nice.
So you won't find me putting people down in music or in real life. Um, I always want to uplift, and it's just a magical thing. And to be consistent and have these events at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST every Wednesday. Every event I do weekly is at the same time. So if you ever want to know what I'm up to, and it's 11 a.m. EST or 2 p.m. EST, you know that I'm up to something, whether it's music or surfing or a virtual concert or Unity tech stuff. So um, the whole virtual thing is just incredible. It's also like if you don't have the technology, you can go on your phone and we're live streaming on YouTube, and you can check the vibe out, and you can some people they put it on while they're cooking, and they
Yeah.
just put the live stream on the big screen. The family's dancing, the kids are dancing, and mom's cooking, dad's cooking, and it's a vibe, So the music's good and it's fun, and I believe in it. And this is a really good way to get it out there and raise awareness.
Well, that's exciting. I think most of our community tomorrow is going to join you at 11 a.m. PST. So definitely, and it would be nice, I think, for you to make an event on LinkedIn and kind of give us the reminder stuff. I don't know. Are you streaming just on YouTube and Spatial? Are you doing Twitch or other platforms too?
Yeah, right now I'm streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn just because I
LinkedIn.
find, yeah, and then sometimes I'll switch with X. I'm kind of experimenting because I want to know like what brings the most value, who wants to watch it. I tried Twitch, I tried Kick, but it's a little different over there. So I think they want the more real aspect on Kick. Like for me, like it's just a interesting vibe. But Twitch is dope. It's focused on gaming. Still have to learn the algorithms over there, basically, is what I'm saying. And but X, LinkedIn, YouTube, like those are three platforms that I rely on, and you can always find me on for sure.
Amazing. And I suggest trying something like a StreamYard that we're using now. It kind of simultaneously streams at all of these platforms you mentioned. So that's cool. Thank you for that. And then, tell us about kind of like how the recording process. Do you have like a cameraman in the metaverse? Like, how does this all work to kind of like simulate the real world, because you're kind of going around and showing people different areas, and then how do you go about the storytelling? Do you have a theme every week? How does it work?
Yeah, so we when we throw the events, I'll live stream here from my house, and I will just vibe, and I'll have my mix. I'll play the mix. Everyone's grooving, everyone's vibing. And when I feel like I know I have to get footage and I know I have to show the world because this is something really special that's happening. So I'll go into camera mode and I'll fly through and I'll film everybody because I want to get footage and I want to create a highlight reel. After every event, I'll throw a highlight reel and I'll create a tweet. I'll show everybody, and that's the vibe, and it's fun. You went to the event and then now you're on X and you see your avatar partying it up with your friends. Like
Yeah.
it's a special feeling, and it's something that you can't really explain, but it's memorable and it's impactful, and it really ties the whole thing together. So I
Wow.
like to jump in mobile. I'll jump in VR and screen record, and then I'll jump in on my PC while I'm DJing, and I'll just fly through for like 10 minutes and get the best shots I can.
Wow, you're doing so much alone. That's amazing. And I've done virtual events and I know what it takes. So kudos to you for having been doing it for consistently for almost 3 years. And it's amazing. I've seen like you even kind of remember who is who with their avatars. You mentioned them afterwards. Like, it's very interesting. Like, what happens when people change their avatar? Like, you kind of read the name. It's very cool. It really gives that sense of consistent community. Do you want to
Yeah,
share anything about kind of like how you go about strengthening your community and building your community?
yeah, definitely. One really cool story too is like one of my someone I collaborated with. They were having their own concert,
Mm,
and it was on like a Friday at like 2 p.m. And I was at the beach. I was
mm,
having fun at the beach. I'm like, okay, I gotta head back and get to this concert, right? And then I realized, I'm like, wait, why don't I just play it here? So I
yeah,
got on my phone. Spatial is available on mobile, which is really cool. It's one of the few platforms that's available on mobile. And so I put it on mobile, went and I had it in the car, plugged it into the car, and now I'm listening to a concert, my friend's concert, in the car. And I'm not moving my avatar. I'm in the passenger seat, my friend's driving, and we were just vibing to the music. And we could talk and we could chat, and we were all driving back home from like Manhattan Beach to downtown. So that was a cool experience. But yeah, that I
that's
just wanted to
amazing.
share that with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So there's no physical limitation. If you're not even dressed up ready physically or you're not in that location, you can still make it, which is very accessible. And I think what we are seeing here in these visuals, you can kind of do cool stuff that you may not be able to in the physical world. You can play with the fire. It's like you can do crazy, cool stuff. You can dress up in different ways, and fashion obviously is a huge part of these immersive experiences that everyone talks about. So really cool stuff in that side. And then I think the other differentiator that I experience is that when you go to physical events or concerts, you kind of meet someone, and then if you don't exchange contact, or you're not really following up, you kind of forget about them. But with these platforms, virtually or digitally, we have the opportunity to kind of stay in touch and follow each other, and kind of get the conversation going and come back to it. So that's another beauty part of having this community engagement. Do you have a Discord channel or somewhere that kind of like your community is constantly talking?
Yeah, definitely have a Discord. The Discord is the Dope Silo Music Club. Uh, Definitely have the Discord. And as far as a community, earlier you were talking about community, like you're saying, how do I grow my community or how do I keep everyone involved? But what I would say is that I'm actually just part of a digital community. I'm
Mm,
just part of a community, and that's not mine, but it's just an amazing experience that we're all sharing together,
yeah,
and we're all kind of like pushing the limits and pushing the borders together. Um, I just and I love that because everyone that you see here on this screen is so talented, and they're creative and they're creating, and it's so much fun to see everyone progress and just hit milestones. It's amazing.
love that. Love that perspective. Yes, it is all a community that we are part of. And as you said, a lot of this has been co-created with other creators. So why not? Thank you for sharing that. So let's get into other aspects of your great work. I know that you are big in Web3. So tell us more about how you got into exploring Web3. What was the first project? I think I can actually share that as well.
Yeah, so I found the blockchain and Web3, and I was like, wow, okay, let me experiment. And the first thing that a lot of people do is they don't want to pay gas fees, and they don't know that you have to have, if a transaction fee in cryptocurrency to make your first mint on the blockchain to make it live. So Polygon was there. You could pre-mint, and it's a cold mint. I'm sorry. You could cold mint. You didn't have to pay anything, and people could purchase anything. So I created these like 9 Polaroids of me in the studio through my whole like journey in like 2016, 2017. And I was in the studio recording, and So I made I some my friend took a bunch of Polaroids, and it's so in the moment. And I think 7 of them have sold out of 9 or 10, and those are just like beautiful moment pieces. Those were just pieces that represented me and what I knew of the blockchain at that time. Then I came with Ethereum. I knew Ethereum is a community where, it's a big market. And that's when I minted Bonita. I minted Bonita because I found Twitter Spaces. I was performing in them, and I was like, you know what? I got to make a new song to perform in these spaces. Let me bring that new energy. And that's what I did. I created this track called Bonita, made the beat, and made it in Spanish, and minted it on Rarible. And all this you can find at stiloworld.com. Check it out. So much cool stuff on there. But basically, Bonita's 999 supply, 121 have been minted so far, and there's a phase mint. So I wanted to create some pressure. I wanted to create some rewards for people that were there first. So in the first phase, it was 0.02 ETH, and then we hit 120 sold. We're at 121. So now it's at 0.04. And then when we reach, what does that say? 420, that's when it'll go to 0.05. And then when we reach 720, that's when it'll go to 0.07. So it kind of just raises the floor before it's sold out and gives people an advantage for being first comers. My goal is to sell this out because we all know that royalties exist on the blockchain. As a musician, that's so important to me. Some people bought 5 of these, some people bought 15 of these. Because you always want to buy one to keep forever and also buy another to sell. So these have value. It's the first time that we can add digital art, digital things to a blockchain transaction. And for the first time in the internet, here we are, something that retains value on a ledger worldwide, confirmed by transactions and other miners and computers. So it's stoked. I can't wait to sell this out. I'm going to do some really special stuff. Imagine if I sell this out, Nico, and then I
Yeah.
have a concert, and I go, anyone that's had Bonita, this concert's only for you. How
Yeah.
much do you think the value of that NFT could rise? It's just a beautiful thing what you can do with the blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, exclusive experiences have been around. It's not a new concept in terms of exclusive experiences, but now we have a different format and different means to bring people together and, kind of um, gate the access to those who are more loyal and more supportive of, your work. So this is beautiful. And it is kind of gamified with that different phase and structure that you've created. Thank you for sharing that. And I know backstage we were talking, you mentioned you already do some, limited experiences for those who are token holders. So this is a way for artists, creators to kind of provide unique experiences to their true fans, which is beautiful. Thank you. And beyond that, I know you're also big in fashion. So you did this other project. Tell us more about your collaboration with Ready Player Me and Rarible.
So I minted on Rarible, and basically I collabed with Spatial and Ready Player Me. Spatial is the platform where we host most of the events, and Ready Player Me is an avatar company that is integrated with thousands of metaverses and games. So you could take your identity and go into Monaverse or go into
Omniverse City, or yeah.
mini nations, Omniverse, and it's still the same you. Do you think my avatar looks like me, by the way?
Yes, I was gonna say very, very cool.
Yeah, so that's what I love about Ready Player Me. They really I love their graphics and their characters. But yeah, so Spatial, Ready Player Me, they allowed me. I got to meet the team and really big shout out to them. Super grateful. I asked Ready Player Me, I was like, hey, like, do you think I can get a wearable so I can rock it in Spatial? And, this was after the NFT NYC event. And we were hanging out in the penthouse, like looking over the bridge and the river and listening to my music. And they're like, yeah, man, of course, he's like, I want to give it out for free. I want to just have people rocking it. And he's like, you should mint it. Like streaming doesn't really make money. Music, it's hard to make money with music right now. You should definitely mint it. So I was like, you're right. And uh, so I minted it on the blockchain. And it's integrated into Spatial. You would get a redeem code, a secret link where you can get the code to download it or to integrate it into your Ready Player Me hub. So yeah, it's a really cool hoodie, and there's been, I think, 9 sold on the blockchain, and there is like 990 left. But basically, like, the whole concept is like, I gave it away for free. Like, you can, I give it away for free, and I'm like, you know, that's for them to have. But the blockchain is here to add value. And that's what this sweater is about. Like, if you want to own this sweater digitally on the blockchain, you're going to have value. It's an authentic Gucci. It's with a serial number and a certificate. It's a real Rolex. It's like that, and it grows in value. And you could wear the hoodie for free. Cool. Here you go. Here's the code. Because I love seeing people wear the hoodies at the concerts. But it's also available for value on the blockchain. And I don't
For
really like,
ownership, yes.
yeah, and I don't push anyone on anything that I do like that, but it's there because I know it's there. I see it, and it's really early. There's no need to really push things right now.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. And we had a question from Gabriel related to this. Web3 promises to give creators more control and ownership. How do you see this impacting independent artists in creating and sharing immersive musical experiences?
Yeah, so I think, like, we're all craving a deeper connection, a real authentic connection with our favorite artists, and I think it's a really, really insanely impactful experience. If I could hang out with Snoop Dogg in Spatial, I would pay. I would be like, man, I get to see a Snoop Dogg concert like in Spatial, and then I actually get to hear his voice and like see him run around and jump around and be like, yo, what up? What up? And I'd be like, man, what up, Snoop? Like, that's powerful. Like, I'm a super fan, So that's the power of these immersive experiences. There are ways that, like, people, there's so many different ways to do it. There's a lot of like I know, like, Meta Horizon, they had like, oh, you could go see, I think it was like John Legend in concert, and it was a recording of John Legend, which was cool. But I want to see him live. I want to talk to him, and so these are the different experiences. And like, MTV gave out awards for best metaverse performance, right? But what does that mean? And what they were nominating were these 3D animated performances. So these, and like, these were 3D
Pre-recorded.
yeah, or pre-animated, right? And so it's like pre-animated with the soundtrack. It's cool. But I want to see him. I want to talk to Travis Scott. I want to see Justin Bieber, and hear his voice just say, hey, what up, guys? I'm about to do my show. If he just did that, I'd be like, oh my God, this is cool. So that's the difference about really being there,
Yeah, we had Brenda Chen on our show, and she was the director of Justin Bieber's concerts. And she actually said they did it live. So Justin was actually wearing a suit and, being live there. But yeah, so many people, and really hard to talk to every single person, but he was there live. So yeah, there are all types of these performances, and hopefully we'll see more of them, because after pandemic it kind of became quiet. I love that you're still very consistently doing it, which is amazing. It's not going to go anywhere. This is part of our life, our experiences. And thanks to our amazing community, IRX Lab, Ian, Gabriel, Havo, everyone who is engaging and present with us. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Ian mentioned basically what you're offering is a token of authenticity. That is such a good point. Um, and yeah, there's so much cool stuff happening. And another thing that you made, which we want to talk about, is the collab, more related to fashion, with Hype 3 Wear. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I'd love to. So I collabed with Hypeware. Shout out to Rick the Ruler, Hype 3 Wear. We took my designs and we put them on high quality luxury fabric and
Mhm.
stitching and fit. So, like, if you see that shirt in that picture, there's a pink and a blue. The front looks like this. It has a happy face, says Dope Stilo Music Club.
Love
And
it.
if you see like the collar on my neck, it's high and tight and there's no stitching on the shoulder. Very, very dope. And the best part about it is that when I scan my phone right here to this NFC chip,
Yeah. Yes, there's an NFC chip. Beautiful.
the notification comes on my phone
Yeah.
and I can enter Spatial like that or enter my YouTube live stream like that on the hoodie. So on the hoodie, I attached the YouTube. On the shirts, I attached the world. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff and feels good, looks good. And it's nice to have things in different price points. You know, this is a luxury product. I do, you know, this hoodie and this shirt, you know, they are very nice at a nice price point. But I also have organic cotton, organic fabrics at stiloworld.com with some other designs. No NFC chips, nothing crazy, but the beautiful organic cotton from like El Salvador and Peru, where, you know, if you just want to wear something light and it's a nice price, it's an even better price point. So, a lot of stuff
Amazing.
for everybody.
Very accessible. I love that, everything you're doing, you're always thinking about your community, making sure that it's accessible to them, wherever they are with their journey. That is very important to be mindful of that. And the NFC chip brings the physical and digital together. So, another beautiful hybrid experience. And last but not least, we have the style token. Tell us more about that one. Let me share my screen as well on that.
Yeah. So this I'm really, really excited about. The um the style token,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically a token that I tied to the Super Wednesday, and it's pretty cool. I minted it on this platform called ArtRun.io, and
Mm-hmm.
they termed this phrase ArtCoin, and basically you could create your own token with its own liquidity pool and everything like that, and you could own this token, this style token, and you can own as many as you want. They're like right now they're 28 cents. But basically, I'm going to start showing the ticker for its style. It's a chart based NFT. So it's not about the art, it's not about the art, it's about the weekly event that keeps going and there's a token integrated with it. So if you're at the event, you've been there 10 times and you see the ticker, it's 28 cents, then it's 30 cents, then it's 38 cents, then it's 32 cents, then it's 42 cents. It's a way to just get involved for the crypto heads, you know, the degens, the web3 community. Like I want to just raise awareness to, like, you know, these guys like that are in crypto and like to play with charts and be involved and see what's going on with this event and see a token tied to a live event. So I've seen some tokens tied to a live stream before, and this is that, but this is a weekly thing. It's not once, it's always. It's weekly, Wednesday, and it's something to see. There was no allocated tokens, you know, it's all just made off of how it's minted. So it started at 0. I bought myself some right? I bought it myself because it's mine. I love it. I believe in it. And as much as I buy is as much as I'm going to get rewarded later. And I told my friends about it. Ida X Lab bought some style tokens. I got some other homies. They bought some style tokens. So, you know, as this event progresses, I'm DJing in the metaverse, and there's a chart over here, a big chart, live ticker, a trading chart. So it's like, again, involving cryptocurrency community, artists, musicians, fashions, entrepreneurs, fashionistas. And that's my whole goal for this. So I think in like a year from now, working with this, it could be fun and interesting. So let's see what happens.
Amazing. So it's very multi-dimensional and attracts different types of audiences, depending on what they're passionate about, beyond the great music that you're sharing for them.
And
And obviously, yeah, go ahead.
and you can't rug it because there wasn't a pre-mint. There wasn't any tokens allocated. There is no supply. It's
Mm.
just what gets minted is what joins the liquidity pool, and you can get in, get out whenever you want. You can have fun with it, you could trade with it, you could do anything. Soon we're going to add some more value to this, and we're going to add something where, with as many style tokens you'll get so and so. So it'll evolve.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And I love how our community is already making friends and connections. Gabriel and Era are going to have coffee, virtual coffee. Uh, this is the
Shout out
power.
Chris.
Yes. Power of community is what we're seeing right now live. So we have a question from Gabriel. What are the metrics of success in immersive music streams? Is it charts, ticket sales, or like the views, or like how is it different from the physical, concert metrics?
Wow, Gabriel's bringing the heat, man. No, so metrics of success for me, um, it could be attendance, but for me, like maybe 2 weeks ago, we had 75 people come in and out. Last week, we had maybe 35 people come in and out. And for me, the feeling, the happiness that you get after the event, like even though this last event was half as many people, it was still like special, and it was magical because I tried a new set. I went deep into the vault. I got music that I haven't heard in years that I forgot I made, and
Right.
people were really resonating with that. When I see the chat pop in, that's great. When I see people buying this hoodie, they literally buy this hoodie during the concert.
Love it. Yes.
That's a metric. That's a metric of success for me. Like, oh, I just bought. I have it in 3D. Like, I have a little booth made by artist Jody. Thank you. I used to just bring in a rack and lay the sweater on it, but she made me a whole like wearable section with like clothes folded up and really cute. So, anyways, yeah, you go up to that, click on the link, takes you right to the site, and you can scoop up a sweater or a shirt, and it's pretty dope. So to see Bonita moving, to see the digital hoodie moving, these are all measures of success. And one by one, day by day, things happen.
Love it. And Gabriel has another very insightful question. In the era of immersive music, how do you see the role of the fan evolving? Will there remain an audience, or do you envision fans becoming co-creators or collaborators? I think based on what we talked about, you're already collaborating with your community, or with the community. Tell us more.
Totally. I think the fan is it's an interesting word. So like fan is like the root of fanatic. And like you could be a fan, like let's say maybe like 10 years ago. If you saw Justin Bieber, you would be like, "Oh my god, because
Mm.
like the machine really, did an amazing job, like marketing, and the music was great and everything he's done is great. So you see that and you're like, wow, what a metaphor of success and of a star. And you get starstruck. I think like we're pivoting into more of a friendship, more of a real connection, authentic connection, and you that person that you're giving your time to should add value to your life.
Uh-huh.
Empower you, let you know that anything is possible, to eat better, to have a great diet. Um, to let you know that there's partially hydrogenated oils in oat milk, almond milk, that's all commercial. It's like nice to just get him, like, live how, like, what does he know, what do they know, and what can they teach me, and wow, and have this back and forth, with music and relationships. So I think that's how I see that whole thing happening. And yeah, like you said earlier, like, the people that were coming to the events, listening to the music, at home on a drive, all of a sudden they're like, man, like, let's build a space together, let me build something for you. How do you envision a superstar space?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot more that we're expecting from both, influencers, creators, and also brands. Now, because everyone can have a voice thanks to social media, everybody can broadcast and tell the stories. Now we kind of see brands and influencers eye to eye, and we expect them to add value, like you said, and not just tell us what we should do, or tell us to buy this or buy that. Instead, they have to actually offer us good value. So that's a really good point. And then when this is the relationship, then there's an expectation that is, let's co-create, let's collaborate. And we're already seeing among gamers and many other communities that this is already happening, and brands are noticing it, which is great. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So, we talked about a lot of cool stuff that you've been doing in the immersive experiences. Has there been any challenges? Are there any ideas or things that you would love to do, but it's still not technologically possible?
Yeah, there's so much that I'd love to do. I have so much in the works too. I have really, 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 really dope experiences coming up in Q1 2025. I'm going to be marrying music and gaming, like, and
Oh,
live concerts. So this trifecta is going to cause a hot ricochet, and it's going to create some spark and some buzz and some retention. The biggest challenges is the retention. So,
mm-hmm.
for me, like, I made a lot of music. I made like probably over 30, 40 albums. I have like 600 songs. And these last couple of years, I didn't do as much music. I only did music when I wanted to, and when I felt like it was worth it. Because I've got the catalog, and I've been learning how to package that catalog. How does it work? Like, how does it sound best? How can I play it for you? Should I perform it? Should I just DJ a bunch of songs so I can fit in through 5 times as many songs? Or should I perform 7 songs, like, vocally? So I've tried all these different things, and I think the biggest challenges is learning how to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You have to stick to your faith, and learn to keep going. No, don't let anyone get you down. Don't let anyone put you down. Know that you can do this, and know that sky's the limit. As much as you give your focus, where you give your focus is where your energy goes. So I think learning to deal with cycles, as a business, as an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a cycle. You're going to come, you're going to, like, simmer down, and you're going to come hotter, and you're going to simmer down, and you're going to come hotter. And learning to deal with those churn cycles as a business, I think that's been the biggest challenge for me.
Amazing. And the fact that you mentioned the discipline that you have, the prioritization, and I'm sure also like the community is giving you a lot of energy and motivation and inspiration to keep going and keep creating more magical experiences. So it's kind of all hand in hand.
Definitely.
Um, Amazing. And so, from the platform or technology perspective, are there anything that you're missing? Whether it's through staying more connected with your audience, or even in terms of the effects or anything you want to do, is there anything that you think platforms can do better?
Yeah, I think the hardware needs to get better as far as like social, like as far as a worldwide goes. Like not everyone has a gaming computer,
Right.
or but like Spatial is pretty good. It could run on like obviously the phone. It can run on on a laptop, but one thing you do hear from all platforms, Decentraland, you name it, is you have to make sure that you have a good performing tool like a phone or a computer. And so that's probably like, we want to see the technology, the hardware get better, which it will. Obviously we have quantum computing coming. So that's just going to create some craziness. But like, things are getting better, things are getting smoother already, learning how to optimize, getting those vertices down. And um, for me, my workaround has just been like creating a certain space for like a certain thing rather than having one space with everything, because you can't have a laggy experience. You want that thing to be crisp and clear and
Yeah.
fun and loud. So um, that's just the technology part for me. I would love to see um, the spaces run quicker, faster, cleaner, sharper.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot work in progress happening in that space. And over the next 2 weeks, actually, we have really amazing guests that will be talking about this is technical side of immersive experiences. So everyone, please make sure to tune in. We're going to talk to some of the founders of these immersive experience platforms, and one comes from like 3D design background, the other comes from architecture background. So really cool topics we're going to cover. But from your perspective, how do you see the next decade of Gabriel is asking, how do you see the next decade in terms of like this music industry and this immersive technologies? What are you predicting?
I'm predicting I'm predicting the blockchain is a big deal. I'm predicting the blockchain is a big deal for artists empowerment. I see collectibles being very very valuable and like a flex. If you own Bonita in 5 years from now, and I'm a world touring artist, and you own it and you've had it for 5 6 years, do you know what the value of that is? Like what I will bring back to Bonita is going to be crazy. No matter how big I rise, this was my first imprint on the blockchain, which is impermeable and it's forever. So that's the future to me. And to be able to trade, like I want to trade my Bonita NFT for your Frank Ocean NFT. Oh yeah, I'll trade you. I just think like digital collectibles, whether it's real estate, whether it's a car, whatever it is, it's definitely like the trend to have that, trade that, transact on it, with it.
Beautiful. And we're already seeing, these ideas coming back up, and excitement is really booming. And Ian mentions collaboration is the lifeblood of Web3. Yes, definitely. Awesome. Thank you so much, Silo. It was such an insightful, fun conversation. Thanks to our amazing community. As Ira mentioned, we are waiting for tomorrow's Super Wednesday. And now that everybody knows the time, 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, even the holidays, is that right?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, even the holidays, you can catch Stilo Community, Stilo World on Spatial, and as you mentioned, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and more. And we're all excited to see what the gamification is going to look like. I know you had some conversations with Omniverse City and some other platforms. So, really cool stuff. We can't wait to see what's coming up. And again, thank you to our amazing community: Ian, Ira, Natalia, Gabriel, Chris, Havel, everyone, Jean, who tuned in. And we're so grateful for you to be part of this amazing community. And happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. Hope you have a beautiful long weekend and enjoy at a time with family and friends. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
If I, yeah, if I could say one more thing too.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Man, you guys had great questions, and it was so good seeing you. I see some familiar faces. I want to say hello to Ida X Lab as well, Ian.
Yes,
I just want to say hello to Chris and everyone in the chat. Thank you for making this an amazing interview, Nico.
of
And
course.
everyone have a
Thank
happy holiday season. Follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible so I can monetize. You can check out all the metaverse highlights there. My live streams there every Wednesday. So big love, stiloworld.com. See you guys soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you guys. Bye.